We're all under stress, and it can really affect both our minds and our bodies. Whether it's paying our bills, difficult people at work, or family conflicts, everyone is affected by stress. I'd like to tell you about a remarkable healing method called EFT, or Emotional Freedom Techniques. It can help you right now with some of the stress in your life. I'd also like to share with you the stories of some of the millions of people it has helped deal with their own problems, and also the research that is establishing EFT as an evidence-based intervention.
EFT works for reducing the knots in your stomach around life-changing decisions from this big to this big.
Authentic self-connection.
EFT is great to lose weight.
I stopped smoking with EFT.
Addictions of all kinds.
I used to have panic attacks. But thanks to EFT, not anymore.
Lifelong depression.
Insomnia.
Releasing fear.
EFT helped my kids with ADD.
Test anxiety.
EFT inspired and supported me through breast cancer.
Fibromyalgia.
Diabetes.
High blood pressure.
Migraine headaches.
Sports performance issues.
Attachment disorders. Removing artist's block.
And it also helped me to understand a terrible water phobia I had. Now I love water.
Hi, as a therapist, I have been looking for the silver bullet all my life, and I have found it with EFT.
The free EFT manuals have been downloaded from the EFT website over 1.3 million times, and today EFT is used by an estimated 6 million people worldwide. EFT uses elements of two well-established psychotherapy methods, exposure therapy and cognitive behavioral therapy. To these it adds the ingredient of the stimulation of the body's acupressure points. This sends calming signals to the parts of the brain involved in responding to fear. When we're anxious or afraid, we have what's called the fight or flight response, which sends cascades of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol streaming through our bodies. EFT calms that fight or flight response. The acupoint stimulation sends soothing signals throughout our bodies.
So this is Pinko, and she's what they call a chili rose tarantula, and I have it on good authority from Leanne that she's very kind. I have to say, just being this close to her, I'm actually shaking, my knees are knocking. I've reached out a finger to touch her, so let's see if after the EFT then maybe I might be able to hold her in the palm of my hand.
Oh, she's turning to look at you.
She's turning to look at me, oh God. Scared of how I'll react.
Scared of how I react.
Scared of how I'll react.
It worked for Monica.
Sure
Could it work for me?
And she's there.
I've been afraid of spiders for 25 years, and now I've got a tarantula walking across my hand.
How does it feel?
She's so gentle, it feels amazing.
The acupoints used in EFT are ones that human beings under stress touch naturally every day. In fact, they're so obvious, we don't even realize we're soothing our anxiety by touching them. The way EFT reduces stress has been the subject of much research. More than 50 researchers have been involved in studying EFT in over 7 countries. EFT studies have been published in more than 15 different peer-reviewed medical and psychology journals, including several published by the American Psychological Association. One study looked at 216 healthcare professionals like doctors, nurses, psychotherapists, chiropractors, and alternative medicine practitioners. It measured their anxiety and depression levels before and after a one-day EFT workshop, and found that their psychological distress decreased by about 45%. One of the most dramatic examples of EFT success comes from the stories of war veterans suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. There are an estimated 500,000 veterans who've come home from the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan with PTSD. EFT has been used very successfully to help them recover.
It was just a terrible smell of just decomposing body parts. And
So you're taking the helmet out of the bag and having to actually clean out the remains of his tissue that were in the How are you feeling as you describe this now?
I'm feeling pretty neutral. I already did some tapping on this. I'm feeling quite at peace.
In one randomized controlled trial, veterans who got regular medical and psychological care were compared to a group that got EFT in addition to regular care. The results were remarkable. The symptoms of the EFT group dropped into the normal range, while the control group was unchanged. EFT's success with veterans has led to the creation of a support network of life coaches and therapists, offering free or low-cost EFT sessions to veterans and their families. It's called the Iraq Vets Stress Project, and more than 100 EFT providers are available to work with veterans who contact them. EFT isn't only useful for illness, it can also help peak performers. A study of championship basketball players at a major university randomized the teams into two groups, after measuring the number of accurate free throws each player could perform. One group then received 15 minutes of EFT, the other received a lesson on basketball tips and techniques written by a famous coach. The two groups were then tested again, and those who had received EFT performed 38% better than the control group.
Jorge Reyes trying to relax himself. I don't know what that's, acupuncture, acupressure.
One reason EFT is so effective is its effect on your body's main stress hormone, cortisol. Cortisol is intimately involved with the fight or flight response, regulating many of your body's systems like those that raise and lower your blood sugar levels, your heart rate, and your breathing. A randomized controlled trial compared EFT to regular psychotherapy and also just simply relaxing. EFT stimulated the body to reduce cortisol production by 25%. U.S. congressional committees have requested that I testify on EFT's effectiveness, and several congressmen have written letters of support. EFT has also been the subject of scores of stories in newspapers, magazines, on TV shows, and large websites. I believe EFT has as great a potential to revolutionize psychology and medicine as any other great advance over the last millennium. Please visit the EFT website and see stories written by people like you, and find out how they used EFT to reduce their stress and to lead happier lives. You'll also find certified practitioners, EFT workshops, books, DVDs, and a search engine that will allow you to quickly find other people who've used EFT to solve the same problems that are bothering you. You can download the EFT mini manual for free and start using EFT yourself in just a few minutes. Love yourself enough to release those old stuck patterns and claim emotional freedom.